What is the deal with chicken tractors? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Here we are using 2 chicken tractors to raise 70 chickens on pasture. That's enough chicken to feed our family chicken for the entire year, even have a couple extra to sell to our local community. Chicken tractors are a great tool to use to get grass-fed, pastured poultry in the freezer. So let's talk about what's the deal with chicken tractors anyway. Why would you want to use a chicken tractor over the traditional chicken coop? Well, chicken tractors have a lot of benefits over a chicken coop. The biggest one being that a chicken tractor is lightweight and easy to move. So a chicken tractor allows you to take your meat birds and move them all around your property, eating fresh grass, which is really good for the meat, which is really good quality and really good for your health. Grass-fed meat is better for you and it's really delicious. A chicken tractor allows these chickens to have a nice safe structure to be protected in at night and even throughout the day if you decide to raise your chickens in the chicken tractor. You are set up here. You'll notice we have 2 chicken tractors and then we have poultry netting. We allow them to go out of the tractor and walk around the netting during the day. But depending on how many birds you have, you could leave them in the tractor all day long. You wouldn't need any of this electric fencing and you could just move that tractor each day, giving your chickens yummy fresh grass each day. Another benefit of a chicken tractor over your traditional coop is generally a chicken tractor is going to be a little bit cheaper than a chicken coop. A chicken tractor like that you could build for yourself. The Homesteady design, which we'll talk about in a minute here, is about a $300 one-day project. A coop that will hold the same amount of birds usually costs about double that price. Now you can build a much cheaper chicken tractor than the Homesteady design. We'll talk about the Homesteady design in a minute and why it costs so much money. Now there are some downsides to a chicken tractor. If you live somewhere where there's snow, they're not going to work for the winter time. Usually you don't have any kind of floor or there's a wire floor, and so when snow starts to pile up, you have no insulation, they don't work. So if you're raising egg-laying chickens in the winter time, they're going to need a coop or a barn to go into. Chicken tractors are really great, but they're only good in summertime. There are some places online where you can buy movable coops or chicken tractors, but most people I find who want to do the chicken tractor thing are going to DIY it or build them themselves. There's a million and one ideas on Google if you search chicken tractors, and that's basically how we put together our design. There's a really great design by my buddy John from Farm Marketing Solutions. You can get his book and learn how to build those ones. Joel Salatin has the more low to the ground, big, long, flat version. You can read about that in his book. I want to talk about the Homesteady Chicken Tractors because we had superfan Ben, who is a huge supporter of the Homesteady show, ask us how these tractors were. I get the feeling Ben wants to build one, but he wants to hear an update on how they're working and if we like them or not. So let's get into the design of the Homesteady Chicken Tractor. What are our takeaways? The Homesteady Chicken Tractor was designed based off a couple needs specific to what we wanted. First off, I wanted the Homesteady Chicken Tractor to require very, very few construction skills to make. I wanted a chicken tractor that was really simple. So the design of this chicken tractor, there's no fancy cuts with a saw. It's all right angle cuts. There's no weird joints in any of the wood. You don't have to do anything fancy. You use very simple tools to build this chicken tractor. A hammer, a saw, and a drill, and you can have that entire thing put together. So it's pretty simple and easy to make. Someone without any construction skills can watch our video series, which you can check out, and learn how to build the Homesteady Chicken Tractor. It's really quite simple. Another thing I wanted in the Homesteady Chicken Tractor, originally it was designed for my 6-year-old to be able to move on his own because he was raising his own chickens and we wanted something he could move around the yard. We wanted something that was lightweight and portable. Now, after it was all said and done, it turned out to be a little bit too heavy for him to move on his own. Lift both handles and see if he can move it. I guess not. When we first built it for him, he couldn't move it on his own. But that's pretty cool. So a 7-year-old can move it. So if you want a chicken tractor that's lightweight, something your wife can move, that your kid could move, They're a good lightweight design for anyone 7 years old and up. You'll notice the Homesteady Chicken Tractor is an A-frame. That cuts down on weight. Instead of having a square with a full flat roof, the A-frame, less materials, kept it lighter weight. Another important thing about the Homesteady Chicken Tractor, I wanted it to protect from predators. I didn't want a chicken tractor that you also had to put electric netting around or electric fencing. We put electric fencing around ours because our current setup, we don't leave the chickens in it all day. We have way too many meat chickens to keep them confined in that section through the whole entire day. So we use the electric netting to kind of give them more space to walk around and eat grass and eat bugs. But if you were going to raise just 8, 9, 10 meat birds in the Homesteady Chicken Tractor, leave the door shut, you could do that and they would be safe from predators. I've had these tractors running now for going on 3 years. We've probably raised close to 250 chickens in these tractors. I've never lost one to predators. And that's because it has hardware cloth on the sides, which has very small, fine holes, and they're heavy enough that the predators can't lift them up and get underneath. If you were to leave them in one spot for a long time, a predator could tunnel and dig and then get under and in. But if you move them each day and make sure they're on nice flat ground, I've never ever lost one to a predator. And just last night we had a raccoon get into a slop bucket about 20 feet from the tractor, didn't touch any of the birds. So this design is good for someone with very minimal construction skills who wants a lightweight, portable tractor and who wants to protect the birds from predators with the chicken tractor. We also wanted a dual-purpose chicken tractor. You'll notice there's some differences in these two tractors. The one closest to me has tarp on the top, not a wood roof. The wood roof is for the egg layers. The egg layer tractor has a high roost. When it rains, they fly up on the roost, and that shorter wooden roof protects the egg layers. For the meat birds, we need a tarp. All the meat birds sit on the ground, and when it rains, if you don't have a full tarp over them, they will get rained on, they'll get wet, and it's not healthy, it's not nice for them. So for the meat birds, we have a full tarp. No chicken tractor design is perfect. There's pros and cons to each one. So what are the downsides to the Homesteady Chicken Tractor? The biggest downside is the lack of space. We wanted a lightweight tractor that my son could use and move. And so for that, we kept things very small. The A-frame keeps things very tight. We also were worried about ground space. We wanted a lot of space for meat birds on the bottom, but we didn't need as much space up top. But that means they're very small, they're very narrow, and getting into them is quite tough. Why is this a con? Well, let's say you have egg layers who decide to lay an egg on the floor of the chicken tractor. You got to kind of lift the tractor up, reach in and grab it. You can't walk in. It's also hard to walk into the chicken tractor to grab a certain bird if you have an injured bird. So access is probably the worst part of the Homesteady Chicken Tractor. It's a good design for someone with very low, minimal construction skills who wants a lightweight, easy to move chicken tractor, and it works great for both egg layers and meat birds. The design of the Homesteady Chicken Tractor is pretty simple. It's an A-frame sitting on a box. The box is about 4 by 8, so you have 32 square feet. So that will help you figure out how many birds you can fit in depending on how much square foot per bird you want to give your chickens. The Homesteady Chicken Tractor design has a nest box on one end of the chicken tractor. You only really need one nest box. If you have a coop with like 5 or 6 nest boxes, all your chickens wind up laying eggs in the same nest box. So it has one nest box at the end. It has a long enough roost for about 8 chickens to stand. So if you use them for egg layers, you can put about 8 egg layers in there. It has one big easy door in the front to work, a couple handles like a wheelbarrow to move. So do you want to see how it works? Let's go take a look. The ends are made of wood. The front section is a door. It's hinged to the bottom frame, which is all wood. This version has the tarp roof. The other version has the wooden roof. You can see the walls are made of cattle panels and they have hardware cloth over them. The cattle panels provide the structure, and they go right up into a piece of metal conduit. They're attached with a radiator clamp. We like to take hanging feeders and waterers if we're gonna keep them in there. You'll notice I just hang a feeder right there. I got it on a ratchet strap, and then I hang a waterer right there. Keep them close to the door so they're easy to work. When you're ready to close it up, you close it. You grab it like a wheelbarrow, You move it just like that. One modification we made to the chicken tractor. We originally put a floor in it. The floor was a bad idea. Predators don't get under this easily. You don't need the floor if you move it every day. And the floor just got so covered up in poop and just caked. So we ripped the floor out and it's been good since. Oh, bug in my eye. If you like this chicken tractor design, watch this playlist. It shows you how to build it. If you want to raise enough chickens for an entire year, watch this playlist.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Do that right here.